Hey, everybody, welcome to Pink Shade. It's Thursday. That means we're going to talk about Bravo. And I've got a Bravo expert here. It's Brian J. Moylan, president and founder of the Real Housewives Institute, also very famous Vulture writer, and co author of Erica Jane's book, or author of Erica Jane's book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. I got to see you very briefly at BravoCon, like ran past you a couple of times, and that was it.
I know. There are so many people there. Oh my God. So people, Ryan Bailey, who does it. So people think that Ryan Bailey and I look alike, which when he had a mustache, I get it. But he doesn't anymore, and I do. But I saw this. I didn't see Ryan at all because we usually like to take a picture and be like.
I have a picture 2 years ago from the party we did after Amy Phillips' show of you and Ryan together because everybody thinks you look alike, which you don't.
Exactly. Yeah. So I run into this woman, and so now people are always like, "Oh my God, I love your podcast," and then I'm like, "Oh, they think I'm Ryan Bailey," and I just play along and smile and take a picture and whatever. And so this woman is like, "Oh my God, I love your podcast. My friend. Like, can we take a picture to send to him?" And I'm like, "Sure, great." So we take a picture, and then the next day she's like, "Oh my God, I saw you," or I sent a picture to my friend and I thought it was you, but it was really this other guy wearing a skirt. And I was like, that was me. I'm the guy in the skirt. You still think I'm like Ryan Bailey, and I'm not. And she was like, oh, sorry. So I ran into her twice, and I saw you like once for a second. So that's what my BravoCon was like.
That is so funny. Well, I don't know. I mean, Ryan Bailey has a full beard.
Yeah.
And he's, a pretty heterosexual dude with a baby on the way. And, you're in a kilt. So.
Right. I mean, we're both white guys of a certain height, but, we have Irish last names. Other than that, I mean, I don't.
No, just like, if you really do listen to Ryan and then heard you like talk like, hey, yeah, I'd love to have a picture. You guys don't sound alike.
No.
But I did. Okay. When you walked up, I was talking to Mandy Slutzker and her friend Jody, and this guy that's a writer, and he's writing something for Bustle, but he also writes for Vanity Fair.
Yes. Louis Staples.
I was going to say, I think his name is Louis or Louis.
Yeah.
He was standing there.
He'd be Louis. In England, where he's from, it's Louis.
Louis. He's British.
Yeah.
And
he's Scottish.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
I got to get him on the show just to listen to
his accent. He's great. He lives in London, and we've become friends because there aren't as many Bravo fans in the UK as there are in America. It's growing, but it's a little bit harder to find your people. So when you do,
stick together. Yeah. Well, he said that I looked like Kathy Hilton, so I said, do you want to be my best friend? I mean, even though she is, I think he's 10 years older than me. I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah.
Well, you should have put a dress on and gotten on stage, done a Labubu impersonation. Everyone would have loved it.
Kathy.
Did you have fun at BravoCon? What did you think this year compared to in the past?
Well, I do like it better in Vegas than in New York. And that's hard for me to say because I really love New York City in general. And I really hate Las Vegas with a burning fire.
Same.
But it is better in Vegas as far as the venues and how it's set up, I think.
Agree. Yes.
I was just hither and yon running around. And I think since we did it in 2022 there in Vegas, knowing here, 2023, here in 2025, we had more of a feel of knowing that, okay, we don't have to like panic to get to this or that. We can sort of like, man, if we want to sleep in a little and we miss a panel, somebody will tell us what happens. Who cares?
Yeah. No, I agree. And it was nice, like having that familiarity with like, okay, I know where everything is. I know how to get around. Like it's all the same, like set up. I think that just made it a lot easier than in the past.
Yeah. But did you have a press pass and a general, or did you have a press pass and a VIP?
I had a press pass. They gave us general admission tickets. And then there was like a little press section reserved like in each of the rooms, and it was to the front but like way off to the side, so it was hard to get like videos and things like from the stage. Maybe that's intentional, I don't know. But the way it kind of worked, I would pretend like I was going to the press section and then kind of like walk around it right into the VIP section, especially when it wasn't that
Art.
busy. Right, because then like Mandy Slutsker, who we both know, had a VIP pass, and she's like, "Come sit with me," and I'm like, "Okay, I'm just gonna break in." And there was a VIP room that we weren't supposed to go in, and it's just like depended on who was guarding it. So you'd be like, "Oh, I'm pressed," and just like walk past, and they were fine. But yeah,
we had the VIP last time and this time, and the VIP room is really where it's at. That's anytime I would kiki with Mandy, it was in the VIP room. I'd see her and be like, "Let's chat. What do you know?" You know.
Some of the people were complaining that there weren't as many Bravo Lebs in the VIP room this year as in the past. Did you find that true of your experience?
Yeah, I did get 2 good pictures in that room. One with Rachel Zoe.
Yeah.
That was good, and then another with Michelle from the Valley. But otherwise, it's so spread out that you're like, I know there's probably somebody way over there that I could get a picture with, but I don't wanna, again, stand in another fucking line. You
Yeah.
know? It's Denise Richards, and I love her, but I'm just gonna stand over here and take a picture of her. I mean, you know?
Yeah,
Um
I'm gonna take a picture of her taking pictures with a line of people.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know this stranger, but she's gonna be now in my,
Yeah.
thing. Um Yeah, I think that this year, more so than 2 years ago, I was very shocked at how thin people are. And it's
Oh, yeah.
way like, everybody is thin to start with, but now everybody is, like, so thin.
Yeah.
It's a little
Yes.
concerning.
Yeah, and like there was some like Lindsay Hubbard
Was
looked thin in
obsessed.
like a great way. Like I thought she looked good, but some of the housewives, it was like, yeah, why are you doing this?
Yeah, it was a lot. That was shocking. Um, Always surprised at the heights on people. I knew that Angie K was very, very short because I talked to her in the airport 2 years ago.
Yeah,
And
teeny.
people were like, "I don't believe that." I go, "Okay, so watch the below deck episodes where she has to have no shoes on, and then
Yes.
see how short she is." She is like Kyle Richards little.
Yeah. Well, and usually you think everyone's shorter. And
Yeah.
then I was on the red carpet, and West from Summer House,
Mhm.
we follow each other on social media because his mother is a fan of my recaps and sends him
Hilarious.
my recaps.
Uh-huh.
And so he like came up to me and gave me a hug, which was lovely.
Yeah.
But I was surprised at I'm like 6'2", he's probably like 6 foot, but he's always with Carl and Jesse Solomon, who are like 6'7". So
Uh-huh.
him and Kyle Cook both look little, and they're like some of the tallest guys on Bravo. So I feel bad for them that they're getting their height ruined by the other guys. But yeah,
That's
Angie
right.
K was in full heels, and I was like, "How are you this tiny?"
She's a little tiny thing.
Yeah.
Um, did you get to talk to Mary Cosby at BravoCon?
I did not. So they had me running around and like covering panels. Vulture did a live blog, which was great, and so I was sending like updates from the live blog, and I was making some like reaction videos and doing all this with some of the panels. And then they have like the press room is like a red carpet, and they just bring people
Yeah.
in. And so I just kind of went and got who I could get like in between things they wanted me to cover. And
Yeah.
so sadly, Mary was there when I wasn't like talking to people, but I got a lot of good people. I talked to Andy, I talked to Angie K, saw my girl Erica.
Yeah.
So we had a nice little chat.
Speaking of
Yeah.
thin,
Oh my God. Yeah. She looks good though.
she looks good though.
But I will say she looked similar to when I worked with her pre the shot, before the shot existed. So it wasn't like, oh, she's thinner, she got a little
Something.
put on a little weight for a bit, but yeah,
Uh-huh.
now she's back to like where she was before. And so but yeah, so I was in the press room, and so they were just kind of like, oh, do you want to talk to so and so? I was like, whoever comes by, I'll talk to him. So
Well, this
Yeah.
episode will come out on Thursday, and it's the night of the Beverly Hills premiere on Thursday. Now, have you seen I got the screener because, like I said, they send me the first ones, and then they never will send it to me again. I got the screener, but I haven't watched it. Have you watched it?
No, I haven't. I'm gonna watch it this afternoon because I if I watch something and I have to write a recap of it, I don't want to watch something else before I recap it again. And so it's a busy week. I had to do Vanderpump Rules recap because that was on Tuesday. I have Southern Charm, which is on Wednesday. And so I finished those. So I'm going to watch Beverly Hills today and write that recap. And
All right, thoughts on Vanderpump Rules? Thoughts?
So it seems good. What I was concerned about was that
you don't sound that positive.
Well, it's hard to judge from the first episode. Did you watch the first episode?
No.
Okay.
I am in protest. I am in protest. If somebody tells me it's great, then I'm going to watch it. But otherwise, I'm protesting.
I mean, I have this rule. I call it the Eileen Davidson Accord, where I give housewives 5 episodes before I judge if they're good or not, because Eileen started on the show and I'm like, she's boring. I don't like her. She's terrible. And then after a while, I was like, oh, I really like her. Yeah, so I'm trying to give Vanderpump Rules the same. Like, I'm going to give it a few episodes. The first episode, lots of setup, lots of introducing the people. What I was worried about was it was going to be a lot of wannabe influencers who want to be on reality television to get more followers and to get brand deals and whatever. And they weren't going to know each other. And they just gave them jobs at the restaurant to get them on the show.
Yeah.
It seems like there is a core group of people who have worked there at least a year or 2 years and know each other and have dated each other and are friends and have some, organic connections. And so I think that's good. There are these 2 guys who have been on several reality shows. They have OnlyFans accounts. They are half cousins because their mothers are half sisters. They look alike. They're both really hot. But they're trainees at SUR, so it's like they gave them jobs so they can be on the show, and they're the kind of guys I'm worried about. And they have a scene together, and it's like the most boring scene of the premiere. And their names are Chris and Jason. They look alike. I can't tell them apart. It's like Lisa Barlow and Meredith Marks 2.0.
Yeah.
So I worry a little bit about that, but I'm gonna give it a little bit of time and see where it goes.
I think if the people that have been working there a couple of years, they're playing the long game because they're like, if we just continue to work here, eventually they'll have to cast us on the show.
Well, there's one woman who's been there for 7 years, and I'm like, oh yeah, she has been holding out for years and years and years. Finally, she made it.
What about Peter? Is Peter around?
Peter is not around, no, which I was surprised by. I figure it would be nice to have a little Peter cameo. And that's the thing, other than Lisa, there's no one tying it to the old days. So, which I thought was a little curious. You might need a little something. The only recurring character is the Sir Alley.
It just seems like Peter would be shuffling around like these whippersnappers, and they don't keep their schedule and that kind of thing.
Exactly. Holding Ken's dog or
something, fixing his ponytail. Okay, so let's talk about some Bravo gossip first. Jen Shaw, we have heard, is going to be released from now 8 days. It'll be 6 days when this comes out, January 10th. So she got her time cut less than half, right?
Yeah, way more than I think. She ended up serving 30-something months, and she got 80, something like that. I did the math when the news came out, and now I forget what it is. But yeah, she's not going to be serving that much time, and I'm curious as to why.
They said she just did all this good stuff in prison that, if you mentor somebody, you get a month added on. If you don't get into a fight, you get a month added on. I guess it's just you keep getting your time removed if you do these good things in prison. But my God, that's a lot of time.
Yeah. Did she inform on anybody? Is she giving state's evidence? I don't know.
That's a good call. She could have been snitching. We don't know. But I mean, I think from everything I've seen, every interview, every time Andy has ever asked about it, he's like, no.
Yeah.
He goes, he's like, Salt Lake's doing just fine. And I think my personal theory on this is, because he does seem to be kind of forgiving of Karen Huger or Teresa or other people. But with this situation, I think it hit so close to, well, I mean, what she did was so terrible, and she admitted to it. Obviously, her crimes were bad. But I think it's because it hit so close to home with him with, trying to scam elderly people, and he himself got scammed out of some money by a person on the phone. And I
Yeah.
think he's just like, anybody that's trying to go after old people, and I've got old parents, no.
Well, and I also think that up until the day she pled guilty, she was like, I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
Right.
They made it up. Like, I'm going to be vindicated, whatever. And so, Karen Huger, kind of same thing. But then she came out and seems like, I want to talk about my addiction. Like she's having some remorse, taking some accountability.
When are we going to see that, by the way, Brian? When's that going to come?
I believe it's the end of the season.
Okay, so not next week or anything. They got to go on a vacation first. Okay.
Yeah. But I also think that some of it is how the fans feel about it, which is, fans didn't really care about Teresa scamming the insurance company. They didn't care too much about Karen Huger. Based on everyone's reactions at BravoCon, like Wendy was getting cheers and
yikes.
Right. And so I think that it's like, oh, if you're scamming the bank, if you're scamming the insurance company, if you're just like running into a tree with your car, no big deal. But with
eventually scarring your dog, but okay.
Right. Yeah. Right. Poor Archie Bador. I mean, we'll never get over it. But with Jen Shaw, I think that fans are like, what she did was really messed up, and we don't want her back. Because there are the occasional people on Twitter who are like, bring Jen Shaw back, but like. Other than that,
such a long con too. It was on.
Yes.
It was like 15 years before she even came on Bravo. It's such a long con, and then all those people fell under her, and she was just like, I don't know what all 20 of those people are talking about. I didn't do anything. Out to get me.
She also was kind of an awful person on the show.
Yes.
In a way that like Karen, Wendy, Teresa, haven't been. Where it's, and I don't think, and the show is so good that we don't need her or want her, and so
her in any way.
No, I'm happy for Jen to never be back. I would like to read an interview about time in prison. Also, if she's looking for a ghostwriter for the prison book, I'm available. No, not really. I don't know that I would do that.
I think it would be interesting though, just because she's, in with some famous people in prison. I mean, we know Elizabeth Holmes is in there with her.
Yeah.
And we know that Ghislaine Maxwell just got transferred in.
Yeah.
So
Jen Shaw was like trying to make friends with Glenn.
I mean, she's just like, let me get this tea for my book. It's gonna be amazing. It will be interesting if she comes out and seems changed in any way, because just from the clips we've seen of the Karen interview, it does seem she's a little bit changed. And we did see that being in prison and all that did really change Teresa in some ways, in that she dumped her husband and was like, I realize I don't need to be treated this way by this man, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
She just picked up another man that was maybe worse, allegedly, Teresa. But did you see them at BravoCon, Teresa and Louis?
I didn't see them together. I saw Louis like taking pictures in like the Bravo Bazaar with like a line of people, and I'm like, who are these people lining up to take a picture with red-faced Louis? Oh my god, him. And then I also saw Jared Osmond in the hallway taking pictures, and I was like, who are you? Like. Oh my god. Yeah. I will say I did take a picture with Brittany and Jared. That's the only
I would have too. Yeah.
That's the only picture I got. Because I was with my friend Michelle Collins, and
I love Michelle.
Yeah, and we were talking about how, because we're working and busy and whatever, we never I never think to take pictures with the people because I'm like interviewing them or whatever. And so we were both lamenting that we didn't have any pictures. And right as we said that, like Brittany and Jared walked by and she was like, "This is our chance. We're doing it. We're doing it." And I was like, okay. So that was the only people I got a picture with at BravoCon.
Michelle, we saw her at dinner on Wednesday night. I went to dinner with your doppelganger, Ryan Bailey.
Yep.
And Amy Phillips and her piano player, Drew, and Ingrid, my producer. And we all went to dinner. I'd gotten a reservation at Vanderpump Paris, which Vanderpump Paris, they charge you $35 a person to make the reservation.
No.
$35. And they tell you it's because you're going to be getting the Vanderpump experience. Okay.
That's insane.
So I go in there with my table of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm like, bring it on. Bring on this $35. We hadn't ordered a drink, an appetizer, a nothing. We got no free bread. I was like, what is this Vanderpump? Is Lisa Vanderpump coming out to talk to us? What's the $35 a person that I had to pay before we even walked in? They gave us all like a shot of something from the bar.
That's crazy.
And
I know drinks in Vegas are expensive, and it's one thing to be like, oh, it's $35, but like you get that off your bill, like at the end.
No, not at the end. No.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Yeah. And then so like 3 people at the table didn't even drink. So like Ryan Bailey just drank them all.
Of course he did. Oh, Irish heritage.
Go ahead, Ryan.
I went to dinner one night at Pinky's, which is her new restaurant in the Flamingo. And I went with Hey You, which is the platform where we watch Housewives outside the U.S. Yeah. And so they paid, thanks Hey You. But so I don't know if they charge, but I will say it's the only Vanderpump establishment I've been to where the food was delicious. It was
our food was good at Vanderpump Paris.
Really? That's good to hear because I have not had that experience in West Hollywood.
Not in LA.
No.
Yeah, I got little mini croque monsieurs and they were delish. But what I was saying was Michelle Collins came in with a group of women. And so we were speaking with her. Ryan knows her and I met her and she knows Amy, whatever. She was lovely. We were chatting, but hilarious. So we noticed they bring us food, but no napkins. Okay. And I'm a 12 napkin a meal girl. I am a messy eater. It's just, I don't know why. I don't know if I can't. I don't know if it's because of my lip flip. I can't get things in my mouth. I'm just a messy eater and always have been my whole life. And they give you these tiny little square cocktail napkins. And I was like, that's weird. Maybe whatever. This is not the Vanderpump experience, right? Yeah. So that night, Michelle posted a reel of her experience at Vanderpump Paris and posted the napkin. And I wrote under it, I go, what was the deal with that? She said, I had to make a mosaic in my lap, I had to get like 12 of them to make one napkin. So that would be my only complaint. They don't. And I'm like, are they trying to make us think that this is what they do in Paris? Because I've been to Paris and they give you napkins.
Yeah. They don't charge you $35 just to sit down.
Walk in the door, just to sit down. Yeah.
Do you think that was like BravoCon special or they do that all the time?
I don't know. I don't know because I kept going. Something's going to happen. They're going to bring up sparklers. And they literally go, because of the Vanderpump experience, here are your free shots. And 3 people at the table were like, we're not drinking. I was like, okay, Ryan, you want 4? I'll drink 1. I mean, it was crazy.
That is crazy.
But anyway,
Lisa and Ken did come by when we were at Pinky's, or they were like in the restaurant, and then like it was all BravoCon people, so everybody was like, can I take a picture? And
they were excited.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Ken's carrying a dog.
Yes. And shuffling around. And do you know Dylan Hafer from Betches? He was there. And he said like they wouldn't seat him at his table because Ken and Lisa were sitting at his table and wouldn't get up.
And he's like, I have a platform. I'm going to write about this.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, he told me, girl, sorry if I'm spilling your tea and you're like mad, but yeah.
Oh, Dylan, I need to get him on I'm going to write that down because I've met him and talked to him several times. Okay. Jen Shaw. Okay. Portia has gone public with her new girlfriend.
I'm very excited for Portia and her new girlfriends.
Me too. I'm excited. She's trying something new. It didn't work with these dudes.
Yeah, and I mean,
what you should have been doing all along.
Good for her. And she and her castmates were talking about it a little bit at BravoCon on the panels and stuff. And yeah.
We have a woman on one of my TLC shows, Chantel. She had a whole spinoff called The Family Chantel, and she also is now with a woman. And I'm like, okay, look at all these women discovering that what we call late in life lesbians. Good for them.
Cough, cough, Kyle Richards.
Listen, maybe. I mean, maybe. Okay. Speaking of people that are in interesting relationships, Kandi and Todd.
Yeah.
Kandi very smartly waited till after BravoCon to announce their separation because she, I think didn't want
She's a
everybody to be
pro.
talking about it. And she's a pro, and she didn't want people to be asking Riley about it too, probably, who was there to get her own light. Now, the rumors that we've seen are that they had sort of a girlfriend that lived with them, a throuple, if you will, and that now Todd is with that woman and she's having a baby.
Oh, I did not hear that. That is crazy.
Yes, that he is now fully with this other woman and they are pregnant.
Wow. Oof.
And then he's contesting the prenup and all this stuff. Now she was wealthy before, and they have, I think, amassed a lot of wealth together.
Yes. Well, and he's been working for Kandi Enterprises for their entire marriage, as Mama Joyce will let you know anytime she can.
So that's going to be messy. I mean, they have that prenup. I remember it was a whole storyline. Like and she's like, no, like you're a cameraman and I'm like a Grammy winner. We're getting a prenup.
Well, and she's only done better and better with the restaurants and the Broadway shows, and wow. Well, and then I wonder how it all went down, because the way she was selling it originally is like, there's no drama, we're still friends, blah blah blah. Like, I'm curious if that's going to be the case throughout the divorce.
I'd love to get Mama Joyce on the phone. Two big-headed people should never have gotten married.
No. Also, sad that the cameras aren't there, to be perfectly honest, to get all this. And I'm all for a modern arrangement, right? Like, sure. Do what you want to do, live your life. I've had everyone I know personally who's had some kind of throuple arrangement, it's ended poorly. And
one person gets left out.
Yeah, 3 is a bad number. I have 2 brothers, Yeah, it's like you can't. 3 is hard. Go skip right over 3 and get to 4. Go full Sister Wives.
It's the same when you have little kids. You never want to have 3 little kids over for the play date, because one little kid's going to be left out. 2 are going to form an alliance, and I mean, just go like the show that I cover, Seeking Sister Wife. Just go ahead and get one and try to roll right in and get that third. So it's a four-way.
Yes, exactly. Because 3, terrible number. But wow, Todd, I didn't know he had it in him.
I know. And then he posted something about, wait for my next scheme, and Shamia liked it, and people are like, oh God, Shamia, why are you liking it? And people are like, everybody needs to calm down. This came out before the divorce announcement. Like, I've been seeing all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Mia stealing furniture from a condo and trying to move out in the middle of the night.
Oh my God. Do we need to talk? Like, I'm happy to talk about Mia, but also, like, girl, this is why Mia is not on the show. Like, because there was always something shady about Mia.
Always something didn't make sense. It was like every season, a new condo. Every season, a different story of why they lost their money. But I mean, they do have a couple of kids. And when I met her at BravoCon 2 years ago, she was a delight.
Yes.
Speaking of something tall, my God, I was like, are you 6'3"? Like, you never felt like so short and squatty in my life. But she was very nice. But I was like, oh my God. And they're arresting her. Now, here's something else funny. They said on the arrest thing, they're like, we're going to have to take you to Fulton County Jail. And she goes, I can't just go to the holding. And they go, we don't have a holding. I'm covering a show right now called 60 Days In, and it's about the Fulton County Jail, about how horrible it is.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. That is, when they said that, I was like, ooh, that's not a place you want to go.
No. I feel bad for those kids.
I know.
And then she was living with another boyfriend that wasn't Ink, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. She had moved on from him.
Yeah. And so I don't know. It all seems to. And where's Gordon?
He's like Ken Todd. He's shuffling around somewhere. I don't know.
I mean, oh my God. Yeah. Oh, those poor kids. And
I
then
hope
it's like,
somebody's
move
watching
them
the
to
case.
Atlanta, and then they're living in some place. And yeah, it's
Move out in the
just,
middle of the night and try to steal all the furniture. What?
I mean, did
What are
she
we
do that
doing?
by mistake? Did she like try to steal the furniture? But I also read that she wasn't paying the rent.
Yeah, I
So,
don't think you mistakenly think a whole apartment full of furniture is yours when you didn't buy
I
it.
mean, I guess, but also, why didn't she have any furniture? Like, did Gordon keep all the furniture
Right,
in
right.
Maryland? Like,
We're not gonna know. We're not gonna know.
no. And that's
Dang
why
it.
it's, you know, Andy talked about this at BravoCon. Like, he always tells them to keep their day jobs. And I
Yes.
feel like Mia maybe never had a day job. And that's why it's like a little sad that she needed the show real bad. And now that it's gone, it's like dark.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of people that I don't think have had day jobs, I was gonna ask you, Bronwyn. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody at BravoCon that met Bronwyn, which I did not, said she was a complete joy and delight. Took a picture with everybody, very chatty, super fun. I didn't hear anybody have a bad experience that met her. Said she was wonderful. She's got to divorce that guy, right?
It seems imminent uh, to me. Like the thing is, like their values don't seem to align anymore, and that she wants to be famous and be on the show, and
Yeah,
he seems to want to have no part of it, and thinks it's silly and stupid, and is making fun of her for wanting to do it and
yeah.
whatever. So I don't see how they get past this.
It's the ridiculous conversation of her trying to talk about their sex life when he's a dude of a certain age who's like, I am not discussing our sex life with you on camera. And he's looking at her like, no, go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
he's
And I wonder yes, and he doesn't seem fun. He doesn't seem funny. He doesn't
no,
seem into her. He doesn't seem engaged. And I'm wondering if that's like a result of how he is when the cameras are around, or
right.
if he's like that all the time,
At the
or what's
reunion
going
last
on.
year when he came out and kind of, did like a little apology, he seemed kind of normal at the
Yeah.
reunion.
And I mean, to do that well in business and to have women be interested in him, whatever, he must have some kind of charm about him, though
Yes.
we haven't seen any
See
of
this?
that.
No,
Yeah.
no.
And so, right. And so I don't see what Bronwyn finds attractive about him, but maybe we're just not seeing the whole picture. I don't know. But even if we're not, that is definitely one aspect of his personality that she seems to have a hard time with. But also, her husband and her mother remind me of each other a lot, where they're withholding approval, they're very scolding. Like, I think it's a dynamic that Bronwyn is used to, but it seems to be
Mm.
one that she might be outgrowing, or at least trying to get out of,
Yeah, good
uh,
point.
at,
Yeah.
at least with the mom. And so I'm curious what effect that will have on her relationship with Todd.
I'd also like to know how the mom got the nickname Muzzy.
It's funny because there's a baseball field in my hometown called Muzzy Field, because there was a family, their last name was Muzzy. And so that's what I always think of
But
her as
is it
Muzzy Field.
I just wonder why because, like, she calls her Muzzy. I don't know if it's like that's the grandmother name, and so, like, my all the grandkids in my family call my mom Bobby. Her name was Elizabeth. They call her Bobby because the first grandkid couldn't say her and he was just saying Bobby, Bobby, Bobby. So, now whenever I'm like, "Hey, Bobby," like, I call her that too, just because it's a term of endearment, right?
Right.
So, maybe somewhere along the line, a grandkid started calling her Muzzy, and that's where it came from, but I would like for it to be explained because it's like Fozzie Bear, it's like Muzzy, we'd like to know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. Or it's just some like weird Mormon nickname. I don't know. Maybe there's a bunch of Mormon Muzzies running around that we don't know about. I don't know what Mormons do. Girl, I'm have fun. Have your crazy
Ah,
nicknames. Oh my God. Did
oh,
you watch the Murdoch murders?
of course.
Um, uh, my husband and I just started it this past weekend, and we're obsessed with everyone's like stupid nicknames. Like they call the son Paul like Paw Paw, and it's
Okay,
like,
let me tell you about Pawpaw, though, because I watched that entire trial, and when Alec Murdoch got on the stand and they were asking him questions, he'd go, well, Paul this. And the prosecutor goes, you've never called him Paw. You've just started doing that on the stand. And it was alleged in the trial that he never called him Paw. He was just doing that on the stand to make it seem like he loved him so much. He was like his little baby. He loved him so much. But in the documentary, in the Hulu documentary, it's not Paw. It's nonstop. And I'm like, was it true or was it not? Did he call him that or not? I'd like to know. But what bugged me the most was the overuse of the term beau. I don't know, beau. The overuse of it. I was like, we get that you do that, like dude or man or bro, like we get it, but it's every other word. And I think the writers had a misstep there.
I absolutely agree with you. And I also, they call the maid like Gloria Go-Go. And so it's like.
Everybody's got a nickname.
Yeah. I was just like, oh my God, enough. I get it. Shut up with the nicknames.
Go, Papa, bro.
I'm going to call you Bo. You can call me, I don't know, Bri.
It's so strange. It's so strange. Well, it's really good. I watched most of it at BravoCon. I would come home at night and I would like, all right, you have to watch something. My time zones were all messed up. So I'd either watch Secret Lives of Mormon Wives or the Murdoch Murders. I was watching both of those the whole time. I got through all of it.
Yeah, I have been enjoying Secret Lives of Mormon Wives very much.
It's a very good season. I'm enjoying all the online gossip about it currently. It makes me
I also love that there is no fourth wall at all. Like after watching Bravo, where they try to keep a bit of mystery about it, here they're like, we're renewing our contract, so we're together. Yes. Oh, we're here for Hulu Press Day. Yes. And it's like, yeah, it's like, great. Like, let me watch a reality show about reality stars. Like, I'm fully into this.
I agree. Okay, now another question is Jersey. So at BravoCon, we saw what I consider to be like fakeness, like Teresa and her brother Joe, like making up, and people are like, oh, and now Teresa and Melissa follow each other. Do you think, everybody says this, they got a year off and they're like, it's not so fun not to make money for a year. Maybe we should try to fucking get along and get this show going again.
I feel like Teresa feels that way.
Uh-huh.
From what I understand, so I have an article that's coming out, I think in January. It's about Bravo businesses. I talked to Melissa Gorga about her business ventures. And according to her, Envy's doing great. She just opened a second store. Sprinkle Cookies are doing amazing. They're in supermarkets now. Like, I think Melissa is whenever they do wife swap, they call Melissa. Whenever they do those commercials, they call Melissa because she shows up. She knows her lines. She's a professional. She's not a diva. She works hard.
I think Margaret's doing just fine too.
Yeah. And I think Teresa is like, oh shit, I need to get back on the show because my husband spent all my money and
I think so too, allegedly.
I don't have anything. And so I think Teresa was finally like, okay, I'm going to pretend like I like her. But the thing is, and I did this huge roundup of BravoCon with all the news and the gossip and whatever. It was like 3,000 words long, and I sent it out in my newsletter. And a couple readers were like, why didn't you talk about Teresa and Melissa making up and whatever? Because everyone I talked to, no one cared about it. Like, no one was interested in it. No one believes it's real. Like, it all seems so transparent and transactional.
Yes.
And, I have not been a fan of Teresa for many years. And so I obviously am going to think, oh, yeah, that's because it's Teresa trying to get back on the show.
Yeah.
But I also think the problem is, for every housewife, there's people that love them and there's people that hate them. That's like universal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, some might get some more hate, some might get some more love, but there's always detractors. But I think, and Teresa's fans, the tree huggers, are like fanatical and devoted and love her. But I feel like even the tree huggers hate Louis and don't want to see him on their television. And so that means like, it's hard to have her back because Louis is going to be there. You can't give her a show with the daughters because then Louis will be even more prominent. So I don't think that Bravo wants to be out of the Teresa business because she is iconic and she's been with the show forever, and there are a lot of people that love her. But I think it's hard to be in the Teresa business when that means you also have to be in the Louis business.
It's a great point. It's a great point. And people that saw them at BravoCon, were like, whenever she was there, there he was, and
Yeah.
you're like, speaking of no day job, get out of here.
Exactly.
Get
Well,
outta here.
my rule of thumb is if you're a housewife's husband and you can't explain your job in like 3 words, then you're a criminal. Like, Joe Bonino, what does he do? He's a plumber.
That's it.
Done.
Yeah.
Like,
Mauricio, real estate.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like, okay, got it. Right.
Todd Girardi, lawyer.
Entrepreneur, product development, real estate, criminal.
What did he say that time on Watch What Happens Live? And it was literally what Jen Shaw had just been arrested for. And he said, what is your job? And he said, direct sales marketing or whatever it was. And Andy goes, how Andy does that face sometimes where he does that.
Goes, I don't think that's a real thing.
We know somebody that just got arrested for that. Okay.
Yeah. Trigger.
Okay. Ultimate girls trip, road trip. So they announced this at BravoCon. There's going to be ultimate, and they say it's going to stop in every city where we have. It's going to start over here, OC, and go here. Okay. I need more information. Are they picking up people as they go and dropping other people off? I don't understand. Is it like the Amazing Race? Is it like the challenge? Is it they're just in a Sprinter van? I need more. Do you have any information about this?
I have no information. From what I understood from the announcement, and this might be wrong, was that there would be like a group of women on the bus. And when they went to each city, they would then meet with other women from that city. And so, so I assume you get like one from each franchise, one from each active franchise, but then they'll go. And so they'll pull up to Orange County and there'll be a party. And then Lynn Curtin will be there. And Lydia McLaughlin will be there, and Peggy Sulahian will be there. Or
no.
Hopefully a better roster of characters than that. But and I assume because the housewives all know each other, there would definitely be someone from that cast who would know those people, who would be on the bus, who would then be like, "Oh, let's introduce them." I think it's a really good idea, and I think it's a great way to celebrate those 20 years of Housewives. And I do think that there's something like we love a rewatch. We love a clip package.
Yes.
I love the Vanderpump, celebrate 10 years of Vanderpump special. And so I think that for Ultimate Girls Trip, the nostalgia play is a good play where you get to go and rewatch the best clips from Scary Island and clip. And, what are you doing here without Dorinda? And, just get a flavor of that. I'm curious who is going to be on the cast.
Me too. But okay. I mean, the idea of a road trip is you go from point A to point B and you stop in the middle, but there's no stops in the middle, right? It's West Coast and East Coast. They could stop in Dallas and Atlanta. They could go down, but there's no Chicago. You can't stop at anything in the Midwest.
No, girl, how are they going to get to Dubai? Are they going to okay, we're going to fly in from Dubai to Orange County.
They're going to put Chanel Ion on there. So I don't know.
100%.
I need more information. And I like my idea of, starting in OC, picking up some Beverly Hills, going a little bit, dropping some people in Dallas, picking a couple of people up. You know what I mean? I mixing up the dynamics. I don't know what it's going to be.
I agree. And I think that that's a good, because you want to kind of get as many people as you can. But also, oh my God, think about all the hurt feelings about, they picked her over me, especially with the Roni Legacy girls. Because fans are going to want them all on there, and they're going to get one, maybe, and then a bunch of them visit. But it would also be cool, if they went to Bluestone Manor, and Dorinda's there with a bunch of girls,
Of
or
course. Of
or
course.
visiting like some of our favorite places, or places they'd been on trips together, or
What
you
if they
know,
bring out Michelle Salahi from DC?
oh my God, remember her? Crazy.
Crazy pants.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Well, I wonder if they're gonna address any of that,
Of like the people from past and the scandals and stuff?
or just like DC and the White House party crashers, and
No.
like,
No, they act like we don't exist. They act like they replaced us with Potomac, and it's just by the way, I talked to, Tia in the airport.
yeah,
She was on my flight, and I didn't talk to her on the flight, but in the airport, we were getting our luggage, and I just said, I introduced myself, and I was chatting with her, and of course, Ingrid, my producer, walks up and goes, "Where do you live?" Because we're friendly with Ashley, and Ashley and Ingrid are at the gym together, and we've had dinner with her and whatever. So Ingrid was asking, she wanted to know if this girl went to her gym as well, Tia.
yeah.
And she goes, "Where do you live?" And she goes, "Oh, Fairfax City." I was like, "These people don't even live in Maryland." She lives in
No.
Fairfax City. She lives in Virginia, just like Ashley lives in Arlington. They don't even live in Maryland. They don't live in the state.
Well,
Come
and
on.
there's a Twitter account, I forget what it is, but they did maps of where everybody lives, and like
Uh,
highlighted the routes between some of their houses. And
yeah,
like the Salt Lake City ladies, it's like a lot of them live together, and then Brittany lives like an hour away, like
yeah,
down south, or Wendy Acefo lived like,
very far.
yeah, like much closer to Baltimore. And so, yeah, it's again like 45 minutes, an hour away. And so, yeah, well, that's my thing about Gia Judice on Next Gen NYC, where they all live in Manhattan and Gia lives in Jersey and is still their friend. And I was like, I lived in Manhattan for close to 20 years, and I did not have a single friend who lived in New Jersey. And when they moved to New Jersey, you might as well have stopped being my friend, because
Yeah,
I was
you
never going to visit you.
moved to Rhode Island.
Yeah.
This week on Real Housewives of Potomac, we had quite a scene with, Wendy and Eddie are redoing their whole house, and then Wendy's mom comes over, and Wendy can afford it. Wendy can't afford it. Look at you see my handbag, you see this, Wendy can't afford it. I was like, "Ugh, yikes."
Yeah, it's not well, and even in the premiere when she's like, "Happy Eddie's making money," and yeah, and that's what's so crazy to me is, you'll see a scene, uh, uh, in this week's Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, where
Mhm.
Whitney and Justin have a very frank discussion about her business, what went wrong, how she blames Justin, how she's trying to extricate herself from the thing, and I give Whitney a lot of credit in that the housewives are always like, "My business is going great, my business is
Yeah,
going great," and then we see them fold quietly and whatever. And I give her a lot of credit for being like, "It wasn't great, it failed. I'm dealing with that."
mhm.
And I feel like fans relate to that honesty and that authenticity. And I I think Wendy would have had a better storyline to be like, "We overspent for a long time. We're trying to work our way out of it." I mean, what's more relatable
Yeah.
than being in debt and like
Yeah,
not
yeah,
knowing how
yeah.
to, yeah, pay for it? Like millions of Americans. It's like when Shannon Bedore's storyline was losing weight, like when she got big after the divorce. It was like the first time the housewife was like, "Yeah, I got too fat and now I need to lose weight." Like, so
Yeah.
relatable. And I think that that's the mistake a lot of these ladies make, is thinking that if they see a chink in the armor, if they think I'm not as rich as I am, if they don't believe the facade, then I'm doomed. It's like, no, like, show us behind the facade, show us your failed business, show us your weight gain, show us the things that
Yeah.
are terrible, and we'll love you for it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, even with Kyle and Mauricio's divorce, her being like, she's the one that wanted the divorce and everything, but even being around him and like talking about some of these things, she would
Yes.
start crying. And it's not because she's like dying to get back together with him. It's just like, it's the hurt of being with somebody for so many years. I think that's the same idea, is like, just show it all. And
Yeah.
God, this thing with Mia, you knew that when all this stuff came out, you're like, okay, well, now we're going to be really watching this season. And it's just her mom out there just being like, "Look at me." And she's like, "Look at my belt. Look at my bag. Oh, Wendy's got the money." I'm like, "Yikes." Did they
Yeah.
did they
That's
claim all that stuff on their insurance?
and also, like, that's why they ended up with money problems.
Right. It's
You know,
it's it's nuts. And then the whole thing that came out about them having all these aliases, and she really hasn't addressed the other thing, just to say that, like, thanks for your thoughts and prayers, but and we'll get through this terrible time, as if their house burned down, but actually that's not what happened. But for her to be like that, now that's absolutely not true. We don't have all these aliases. I was like, well, then why do
right.
people? Where did that come from then?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, is there's going to be a trial,
Yeah.
and we're going to learn all this. So
And hopefully they learned something from Karen and from Jen Shaw. The longer you drag it out and don't admit what you did, the worse it's going to be for you when you get sentenced, because you're wasting the court's time.
well, and I think that is the smart thing that Teresa did, which is like, we're going to plead guilty and make a deal. And,
Yes.
that way they'll let one of us be home with the kids while the other one goes to prison, or,
Yes.
whatever. And so I think that they would be smart to make a deal,
He's a
because,
lawyer, and I think he went to, like, Yale or Harvard or something. Like, he's a lawyer,
yeah,
like a smart one,
right.
you know?
So, yeah, I don't
It's
know about this whole case. Like, I'm fascinated, obviously,
Me
but
too. I'm watching Potomac way closer than I normally do. Normally, I just kinda have it on in the background and kinda half pay attention, because it's not my
yeah,
favorite, even though it's my local people. I'm just like, and then I'm trying to figure out, why do they hate Stacey so bad? They just fucking hate her. She can't do anything right. She can't say anything right. I'm like, man, and maybe she's that annoying, and I don't know.
I kind of get it in that, like, she's not playing by the same set of rules, and I think they find that frustrating.
Mhm.
And I understand that, but I also find her fascinating to watch. And, like, Andy clearly loves her. Like, I
Yeah,
think she's a great housewife, but I do find it hard where she, like, won't answer a question, or she won't enter into a
right.
discussion about these things. And the other
Mhm.
women are like, that's the point of the show. And so I think that they get frustrated where they see her flourishing, doing what they're not supposed to do, and they feel like, it's like Dorinda's fight with Tinsley. Like, Dorinda was like, I bring it all, I am telling the truth, you see my whole
Yeah,
life, and you're pretending, and I don't see why you get to pretend and I don't. And I think
right.
that that's how they feel about Stacey.
Mm. It's still I rise. It's
And
still I
still I
rise.
rise.
And still I
I mean,
rise.
she's the only good housewife they found. I mean, Tia's okay. Angel, flop.
Flop.
Like,
I agree. Don't like Angel. And it looks
yeah,
like she gets
no.
evicted or something next week. I'm like, what?
I know. And she doesn't seem like cut out for the show. Like, she seems too thin skinned, and,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, she doesn't. Yeah, I'm not having
We'll
it.
we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so Salt Lake City, like I said, we're recording this on Tuesday. It comes out Thursday. So I'm missing the Salt Lake City. Can you tell me anything exciting that happens on Salt Lake City that'll be on the show Wednesday night that I don't know yet?
So they finally have that party where they're all wearing the colonial wigs.
Yes, okay.
And so it's Bronwyn's party for getting her citizenship, which, I mean, how is Bronwyn not an American citizen? That was crazy to me.
Brand new information.
Yeah. And so she has this party. She calls it a spilling the tea party, and it's like Boston Tea Party themed. I don't
Okay.
know. And she plays this game where she makes them write on bales of tea about who they want to spill the tea against. The game
Okay.
made no sense. I
Okay.
mean, go around. Who around this table do you trust the least? Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get out the nastiest text to your phone. Makes sense. This
Yeah.
tea game, crazy. But
Okay.
it ends up being a big fight between Whitney and Meredith, and Heather and Meredith, because Meredith is saying, like, you're lying about what I did on the plane. And they're saying, no, we didn't. Like, you're questioning our whole experience. There are other witnesses,
Yeah.
and that's what I don't get about Meredith's stance in this, which is, there are a bunch of people who all have the exact same story and the
And I
same
think, don't you
details.
think there are producers that also have the exact same story that were in that first class section too, I think.
So I saw a TikTok from a woman who used to be a reality producer. I mean, I need to write down the names of people who I'm watching on social media, apparently. And she was saying, like, there could have been people from production, but they could have been like sound people. They could have been, you know, the bookers who arrange the flights, like not the producers who they like talk to, who the field producers who work in the scenes. And she was pointing out that at the end of a trip like that, those people want to clock out as well. Like they've been working very hard. Like they would probably be on a different flight. So yeah, I mean, but I also think that Bravo loves to do this. It's like when they know the truth, sometimes they keep the truth away from us because it's more exciting to argue about it and to talk about it than it is to know whether or not Meredith actually did this. But like, Heather Gay is not a liar. Mary Cosby is not a liar.
Right.
You know, like Whitney and Angie, yeah. But like,
and Brittany's known to
exaggerate.
But
right.
the fact that she didn't film it. Can you imagine if she would have gotten her phone out and been filming like up her nose, like behind her with Meredith yelling? That would have been great.
Well, but everybody says, like, why did any of them film it? Remember when Brittany filmed last season? Meredith went even crazier on her. And you think one of them is going to get out their phone and if Meredith was behaving like that, she would act even crazier, like on the plane. And so, yeah, I don't know what to believe, but Whitney and Heather were very convincing, saying like, this is our experience and you're telling us that we are making it up when, you're the one making it up. And so that's kind of the big conflict of the episode. But again, there was my favorite part was the conversation between Whitney and Justin about their business and what went wrong. And I think that that's what's been great about this season of Salt Lake City is that not only are the group scenes amazing, you have like these conversations with Bronwyn and her mother and Bronwyn and Todd. You have conversations with Lisa and John about their marriage. You have Heather talking about her children and them going away, and these really like honest, frank, difficult conversations that we're not seeing anywhere else.
Mary and her son.
Exactly. And so I think that that's why the show is so good, is because when they're together, it's amazing. And when they're apart, it's amazing. And, even when a lot of the shows are good, it's like you kind of get one or the other. Like either the group scenes are great or the personal scenes are great. You don't get both. And this is really delivering. But I mean, they're having such a good season. Don't change a thing. Invite everybody back. Like, don't mess with perfection,
Yeah, and it's so interesting too that on this show we've got Brittany, who everybody kind of hates, and then over on Potomac we've got Stacey, who everybody kind of hates. It's like these are like the girls that like wouldn't get invited to sit at the lunch table, and you're like, oh, now I kind of feel this kind of made you kind of like them because you're like, oh, everybody's so mean to them,
I know, but I there's a difference between the two of them in that Stacey seems up to the task, like up to the job, and Brittany does not. But those conversations with Brittany and her daughter are like, I'm here for that. It's like, okay, if that means you have to beat up Brittany on a trip just so we can see how this plays out, like, fine, I'm in.
Oh my God. Well, last question about the OC is, are you the writer that Tamara's been talking to? Are you the? I was trying to figure out who it is because we got to know him. We have to know him, right?
Oh my God, we must. But unless it's just some, I don't know. This whole thing seems fishy to me, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
If Tamara was leaking to me as a writer, which she is not, I mean, I talk to very few housewives. And if I do, it's usually on the record and you read a transcript of it. But if she was leaking to this guy, why would this guy then go and tell everyone Tamara was leaking to him? And then Tamara is no longer leaking to him.
Yeah, and now he's lost that. He's lost that.
Right. Like he has nothing to gain by exposing Tamara unless he wants one of the other ladies to leak to him. But if they're mad that Tamara's leaking, why would they leak? And I'm sorry, I believe Tamara when she says, I've been on this show for 15 seasons and this never happened. And now suddenly Gretchen's back and it's happening. Like, to me, this has Slade's fingerprints all over it. And I feel like at the reunion, they gave Gretchen a pass both on that and on the stuff about these, like, liking these homophobic posts. And she says, like, I don't align with that. I don't align with that. I don't align with that. If you voted for Trump, you align with that. Like, even if you don't personally believe it, you're putting people in office who align themselves with those policies. And so, like Heather brings up, like, in my feed, it's like puppies and rapping videos and whatever.
Yeah.
And your feed is full of these hate accounts that you're like liking that you followed at one point or another. And so I'm sorry, Gretchen, you do align with that, and that you don't see that is part of the problem.
Yeah, and I feel like she didn't, instead of like thou dost protest too much, thou dost protest too little.
Yes.
It was she did get a pass because she turned it around on Tamra to be
Yeah.
like, "You're the one that was leaking storylines." And I think because Andy really likes Tamra a lot, and you never know, like, who he really likes and why, but he really
Yeah.
likes Tamra a lot, and you could see sort of at the end when she sat down with him and we're, like, saying to him face to face, like, I never did that." Like, now, we do know that throughout the season, people I know, and I'm sure people Tamra was telling them things, but not to the level of detail that when they sat down and heard that call, you
Well, and
know?
I mean, anyone who interviews housewives, at the end you get a little gossip that's off the record that,
Yeah.
whatever. Eh, but also if Tamara's telling these like storylines, like who cares? Like m- those things are out there if you want them or not. And when I did research for my book, The Housewives, the real story behind the Real Housewives, I talked to people who worked at the tabloids, and they would get these leaks often from producers. So, like,
Oh.
there are plenty of people who know this stuff that could
Uh-huh.
be leaking it. And even if they do, so what? We're still going to watch the show. Like, it's not going to change anything. It's not like you're
Gina,
giving away the winner of Survivor.
well,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. The way that they sat around that phone and listened to that guy say, "And then in New Orleans this, and then this," and they're like, "Oh, she gave away our whole season." I was like, "This is not like the ending of Stranger Things where people have been waiting 10 years to see what's gonna happen," or, I mean, a show like that where it's like the end of The Sopranos explained. Like,
right.
they're acting like, "This was our whole season and she gave it away." I was like, "Well, she gave it away to this one person, and I'm just
Yeah.
dying to know who it is. If you find out, will you tell me?"
Oh my
Dying to
God, of
know.
course. If I find out, I'll tell the world. Like
Okay,
I
okay.
would be like publishing that. Absolutely. But I mean, I feel like we know it. I mean, it's like Slate Smiley and Gretchen Rossi, most likely, I would guess, allegedly, all the caveats. But
Putting it out to somebody that's like an Instagrammer.
yeah, it's like you
Yeah.
have to look at who has something to gain from this. And they're the only ones who have anything to gain.
Mm,
And
interesting.
because the person coming forward has nothing to gain.
They have
And
something to lose because 'cause they're losing their source by spilling it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And so so it never, that whole thing was weird to me, and that they're suddenly gonna come out and be like, oh, Tamara's leaking. But also, to your point, as soon as they land in New Orleans, their fans see them filming, take their pictures, put it on social media, we know they're on their trip.
Yes,
And
right.
they get in a fight at the restaurant. Someone's like, they were at this restaurant fighting. Like,
And
if you want to know
Tamara ran out. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly, and then
Yeah.
Tamara quits on social media, and so then everyone starts looking through everyone else's social media and like figuring it out. And so, if you want to figure that stuff out, you could, but most
Mhm.
fans don't care.
Not
They
that
just
much,
want to
not
watch the
that much.
show.
Yeah,
So,
right. Yeah, and I'm
yeah,
one of those people that I don't like things to be spoiled for me too much. I don't like to
no,
know, but, it was interesting in that last season of, Vanderpump Rules with the Scandal Ball. It was
yes,
interesting to watch it because they started with it, and then we saw how we got there because we
yes.
knew it before, you
Yes.
know?
And you also see like the details, and you see like Ariana reacting to him in that scene where she's like, I never should have trusted you, whatever. And it's still like great television. Like, even if I was just going to say Scandal, like we know exactly what happened, but you still want to watch it unfold and you want to watch how it affects these people.
Yeah.
And I think that yeah, like the details, who cares about the details?
Well, listen, I think we've covered everything. We covered all the gossip, we covered the shows that are on, we covered the shows that are coming. We did it. We did all
We
of
did it.
in an hour. So tell everybody where they can find your amazing recaps. Now tell me about Vulture, because sometimes I can get it and sometimes I can't. Do I need to subscribe, and how much is it? Do you know?
You do need to subscribe. I think it's like $5 a month, $6 a month. It's not that much. And you
Worth it.
get Vulture, you get The Cut, you get New York Magazine, you get everything. I think
Okay.
my recaps alone are worth $5 a month. Hello.
Totally. I would, yeah, they're
And
so good.
so
They're so
I'm
good.
currently recapping Vanderpump Rules, Southern Charm, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and Survivor, of all things. And those go up immediately after the episodes air on the East Coast, so you can read those right away.
Mhm.
And you can find me at Brian J. Moylan on all social media platforms.
Mhm.
And you can sign up for my Housewives Institute Bulletin, which comes out every 2 weeks on Friday. It's free. And you can sign up for that at vulture.com/housewives.
I get that as well. I get that. And before we started recording, I was looking for your book because I do have it. And I thought I had it back here in my little stack of books. But I don't know where it is. I've got to find it. It's in this looks clean behind me, but over here is a disaster. It's in this office somewhere. It's in here
Yeah.
somewhere because I need to add it back here.
Yeah, especially when I'm on hello, so I can stare at my work lovingly.
I was gonna hold it up, but you guys, I will also encourage you to go to brianjmoylan.com or brianmoylan.com, because I went to it before because I can never remember exactly the Real Housewives Institute. I always want to call it like the organization. I don't know. And I wanted to like write it down exactly. And your website's very funny.
Thank you.
It's,
I try my best. It needs a good update, but
but
yes, thank you.
it's funny. I read it
Thank you.
because it's quick blurbs and I enjoyed it. Everybody, make sure you're following Brian on social media and make sure you're following me at Pink Shade Pod. And I'll be back this weekend with my 90-day recaps with Kimberly. And I get real down in the gutter, Brian. I got 60 days in. I got 90-day fiance. I do it all. Bravo,
I mean,
everything.
do it. Yeah, I love the gutter. No place better.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
All right, take care.